I was talking to a guy who's considering starting the program. One of the things he says, because I feel like I can't stop. I'm powerless. And I was like, I understand that feeling. And where does that feeling come from? Where it comes from is us trying over and over to overcome this behavior, but we try to do it the same way over and over again, which doesn't work, right? We've proven that that doesn't work, right? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting some measure of different results. As if we can willpower our way into recovery, but we know that is not possible. We know it, right? And what's interesting, and I did the same thing, is a lot of times we come into a new program and we try to do the same thing we've done before because that's what we're familiar with and that's what we're used to doing, is willpowering our way through our behavior, which does not work, gentlemen. You know it doesn't work. I know it doesn't work. You're here because it doesn't work. But when we have these failures, or what we perceive as failures, over and over and over again, where we're going, okay, I'm not going to do this again, and then we do it, we start to have this sense of hopelessness, and we start to feel like there isn't a choice, right? We start to feel like there isn't a choice because we're choosing, I don't want to, but then we do, and it feels like we are powerless. And how could it not be perceived that way? Think about it. You're trying, you can't, you're trying, you can't. It starts to feel like you don't have a choice. But the reality of the matter, you do have a choice, right? If you think about it, it's your sexuality, right? When we talk about it, we talk about our sexuality. It's my sexuality, right? There's ownership there. Like, I own this, it's mine. I can decide what happens. I can choose to mold it. Just like I can choose what to eat today, what to do with my day, where to go, what job I want to be in. All of these are choices that we make on a daily basis, but it can come across as if we don't have a choice inside that space, when in fact we actually do. You know you do, but it doesn't feel that way because we've tried over and over and over again. But the fact of the matter is that you do have a choice. Now, I'm going to break this down for you because this is really, really important. I'm going to tell you what to do, right? What to do when you come to this moment, right? This is what these techniques like red light guide, beard test, hand on the heart, first thought wrong, all of these things are designed to help you have that, to help you realize and to execute that choice, right? Because typically what happens is the thought comes up, the seed gets planted, we go, I'm not going to do that, try to willpower, or we just give in immediately. We act out, we feel guilty, shame, all those things. Never going to do it again. Thought comes up, seed gets planted, fight it or don't fight it, act out, and it just, right? What we want to do is immediate action. Immediate action. Okay? You have a small window. We call this waiting and debating. And this is where most men lose their sense of choice and don't execute. The thought comes up, and instead of going into action immediately, they wait. And they debate with their addict. Oh, I can't do that. Well, you should. No, it's not good. You deserve it. Well, maybe I do deserve it. You do. I think you should do it. Well, maybe just a little bit. Right? And then where do we end up? Right? Where do we end up? Full-blown acting out. When I started with George, I told myself, I made a commitment to myself, my wife at the time, I am not going to work from home. It was too much of a thing. And more than that, I wasn't going to be at home unless someone else was at home, right? Because that's when I would act out. I would act out at home when no one was around. So I made that commitment to myself. And I stuck to that commitment. And as I got further along with George and started feeling more secure and kind of on point, I decided that I could start working from home temporarily, just a little bit at a time, couple of days. But I had a plan in place where if I had an urge to act out while I was at home working, I would leave immediately. So one of the things I did is I would put my keys to my truck right by my mouse pad, right by my mouse. They had mouse pads back then, right? And I would put it right there and I would work. And my addict couldn't even finish the sentence. Hey, how about I would have those keys in my hand and out the door before the sentence could be finished in my head. Hey, how about I'd be already out the door. I would jump in my truck. I'd go for a drive. I'd go to a coffee shop and work. I would go do a dialogue, whatever I had to do, but I would not allow myself to sit there and wait and debate, because then that's when you lose your sense of choice. Because what are you going to do? It has to be immediate action.